Good afternoon.
Hello.
Brett Campbell here with Middle Tennessee Music with another episode of Mid 10 Listens. Today we have Sherrie Phillips on the line with us. Sherry's about to put a brand new album out here in the Nashville area, and we're going to talk with her for a few minutes and see how things are going for her in the music world in Nashville and talk about this new record coming out. Good morning, Sherrie. How are you today?
Good morning, Brett. I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much.
It's good to have you here.
Good to be here.
We're just starting to get to know each other.
I know. It's been an interesting morning.
It has been. Is your volume way up? I'm getting a little echo coming back.
I believe so. Let me just double check it.
If you'll drop it down to where you can hear me, but we kill the echo, that'd be great.
That better? How's that?
Yeah, that's good. We'll live with that.
All right.
Good deal. And I think I've got all the buttons pushed on that side. So, Sherrie, you've been at this for a while. I'll give us a little bit of quick history. Sherrie has played with a local band here, Hangman's Daughter, that a lot of folks remember, and I know I still remember being around back in the day, as they say. And she's worked with all kinds of folks in the industry, from looks like Dusty Springfield and Janis Joplin to Beth Hart, and a huge list of credits here. Traveled all over, played with looks like everybody, been on stages with everybody. Is there anything you haven't done in the music industry yet?
I haven't opened up for Justin Timberlake.
Yay!
Right? I think I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Very cool. What got you started on this musical journey?
I've been singing since I was about 5. I started in the church. My mom was a secretary, and I literally would get off school after school and go in the sanctuary, steal the keys, and turn all the mics on, and I would be a rock diva in my little church back in Sebastopol, California. So it's where it all started.
That sounds great. You know, it's almost exactly how I started to. Mom was the choir director, and that's exactly where I got my first audio training. Was at about 7 or 8 years old, sneaking into the sanctuary and turning knobs and buttons.
And they had no idea what they were doing to us. Oh, it's lovely.
Just ruined, huh?
That's right. That's right.
So, let's see. You've been through quite a bit of stuff here, and I went from rock and roll and into gospel and kind of back, and worked with all kinds of great folks. So, what caused you to kick off on your own here the last few years?
Well, back in I think it was 2003, I walked away from my rock band who I'd been with for 15 years, and I was just, you know, I was married to the guitar player. We were one lovely dysfunctional family, and it was a good run, but I needed a rest, and so I got a divorce, and I quit my band and took a breather. And when I came back out of that, I think I took about a year off, and I always wanted to do a gospel album. Just, you know, because the church thing, it's kind of in your blood. You can't help it. And so I started playing there, and then I did a bunch of group projects, and then, you know, my soul is just calling back to doing my own thing. And I've never really done that. I've always been attached to a group of some sort. And so, you know, I'm ready. I got a 4-year-old daughter. I'm a single mom, and I'm just finding my own voice all over again, you know?
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the new record, and when's it coming out?
It's called Nobody But Me. It's already out on CD Baby and iTunes, but I'm doing my big release show Friday night. It's Venue 109 in Madison.
109 in Madison.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
I think I've got a 7 o'clock scheduled. I'm going to try to make that. If I don't have something else scheduled, I'm going to try to make it. I know what I've heard, and I've listened to 5 or 6 songs this morning, liked every one of them.
Cool.
And we heard a few moments of Under the Sun coming in. It's a release party Friday at Madison. What can we expect on this record? I mean, there's a lot of stuff here.
You know, this record, Brett, is really it's really cool because you know, historically I've done, okay, this record is spiritual, inspirational, and this record over here is just rock, and this record's just gospel. And on this one, I didn't pay attention to any of that. I just picked my favorite songs, and so you get a real you get a little bit of rock and roll, a little Hendrix, a little Janis Joplin, and then some really soft, cool ballads, a little Barbra Streisand. That kind of diversity, and it actually is very reflective of myself and who I am. So I just put all concerns to the wind about what other people might think about it, and put on my favorite stuff, and I love listening to it. So I hope you do too.
I'm really digging it. Let's check out a few moments of Reverend Lee, if
Cool.
we could.
One of my favorites.
Very good. While we do that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to studio mode for this one. And I've got you muted there. You know that you've got to unmute when you come back. And folks, bear with me just a moment while I make that switch so we can get some good sound here. And that's saved. And supposedly when I hit this button, it should start playing. Reverend Lee by Sherrie Phillips.
Reverend Lee went to the water and prayed to the Lord about old Satan's daughter. Yeah. Seems in a dream while he lay sleeping, she crawled in his bed, starts rubbing and weeping, twisting and turning, begging and bleeding. She was moaning and groaning. She was panting and breathing. Reverend Lee, yeah. He said, "God knows I love a child. Why would not he?"
Excellent sounds there, excellent sounds. And just in case you guys over at CD Baby or iTunes and whatnot are concerned, Sherrie does own all the rights to all of her music and has allowed us to have the rights to stream and do all of that good stuff. We covered that in a blanket statement beforehand, that we're going to own all the rights to everything and do whatever the heck we want with it. So thanks YouTube for letting us do this. Thanks CD Baby for staying off our backs again. You guys are great. We love you. Sherrie, what went into this? You don't do a record like this just by yourself. Did you put a special band together or bring in individual musicians as needed, or how'd you go about this one?
Well, some of the tracks from taken from my Hangman's Daughter CDs, like the favorite CDs from. Are you getting the echo like that? Yeah.
I know why. Give me a second.
Okay.
Sometimes that happens when you run too many buttons at one time.
Aha. Okay. I was trying, but it's like singing the national anthem, and it's coming back to you. Can't quite. Couldn't quite keep concentration going.
So we were about to get into who's on the record.
Okay, well, a couple of the tracks, the Hangman's Daughter tracks, are my old band with Chris Isola, Matt Isola, and Stephen Winters. They're all back in California now. Gosh, the live tracks, they're really cool. That was Coach Kraske, Michael Walter, Judy Blackwelder on bass, Porter Howe on guitar. Stephanie Jones wrote a lot of the songs on there. So just a really, different combination of people and awesome musicians here in Nashville. That's one of my favorite things about Nashville. There's, amazing talent here. just amazing.
It seems like you can't throw a rock without hitting somebody that's really good, huh?
Love it. That's really
Where'd you put
fun.
this one together?
Huh?
Where did you put it together?
When did I put it?
Where?
Where? Actually, my friend Deborah Duncan helped me via online. I did a lot of the live stuff was done at the Rutledge here in Nashville. We did a live recording here, and then the other tracks were grabbed from stuff that had been recorded out in California. Some of them here in Nashville with Scott Rouse. He was my producer at the time.
So nationwide.
Yeah, kind of. Again, it's just that whole bringing all my parts together into one project.
That's amazing what's going on in the world of music right now.
Yeah.
Just the different ways you can work. So, that being said, you think the internet's had a big effect on the way you approach a musical career?
Completely. I mean, when I bailed out back in '03, it was still about getting the label deal and jumping through all those hoops, and that's a big part of why I quit. I personally couldn't do it anymore. My skin had gotten a little thin, and I wore out with all of it, So now it's exciting because you kind of get to create your own world, and how do you want it to look, and do you want to go international? Do you want to, like this CD? It was the fastest, cheapest CD I've ever put together ever, and I love it. I love the diversity, and I love, and it's amazing. It's amazing. You can do anything pretty much that you want to do. You just got to have someone that's great with internet marketing on your team.
Truly
Yeah,
takes somebody great at internet marketing these days.
that's right.
That's it. Wow, and so many people that claim to be internet marketers. I've been reading a lot lately on uh, how to choose the right ones. Gosh, there's so many out here that do internet marketing that it is. I mean, it's a completely different world to decipher.
Yeah. I don't even pretend to know. I'm working on getting my computer up and running, so yeah, I let the professionals do that part.
Hey, we made a little progress on the computer today.
We did. I learned a few things.
Excellent, excellent. So what do you think of Google Hangouts so far?
I love it. This is great. It's like Skype, but for musicians somehow.
I'm going to remember that line, Skype, but for musicians.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Especially with your little vibe back there. I love all the instruments, and you've got a great room there for it.
And the great stuff, expanding foam leaking out of the ceiling, and
It's perfect. It reminds me of lots of rehearsal studios I've been in.
well, that's what this thing started off as, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe someday it'll have sheetrock, but I don't really care.
Yeah, you don't have to have it.
That's all
Not
about,
mandatory.
it's all about do what you can do, and I think that, kind of almost exactly what we're doing here. We're doing what we can do. We're taking advantage of the tools we have at hand.
That's right. That's right.
And all the independent musicians that are able to grab those tools and do what they can and do their best with them, it's just a fantastic thing out here. I've got a good friend in a band in Murfreesboro that mentioned to me last night, wow, can you imagine if we'd been able to do this 15 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole different world.
So
It's a whole different world.
changed.
It's cool. I mean, I loved back in the '90s actually hanging the flyers on the telephone poles. And doing all getting out and doing your thing, putting stuff in mailboxes, and it's just so different.
Yeah, I remember those Nashville telephone poles from the 90s and trying to find a spot you could get a staple into.
Just find a spot. That's right. That's right. I was on the West Coast at that time, so doing West Coast phone poles were the same.
I imagine so.
Yeah,
A sheet of metal up to about 8 feet.
that's right. That's right.
Very cool. So we've got it on CD Baby and on the website, which of course is sherriephillipsmusic.com, and Sherrie is SHERRIE. Of course, 2 L's in Phillips too.
That's right.
And we'll have all that in the show notes here and links to that. What should we tell people to kind of close this thing out and make sure that they know if they're in the Nashville area they need to be at the show Friday night, and exactly why they should buy this CD. I'm going to really put you on the spot here. Why should folks shell out a few dollars for this disc?
Well, I'll tell you what. Start with the show. The show is it's a rare occasion to be part of a magical, magical night. I just know my shows are usually like this, but just the energy builds, the audience, it's just crazy. And I know there's a lot of fans out there of just amazing, powerful, soulful chick singers like Beth Hart, like Janis Joplin. And, you know, I'm one of those people. So if you want to get a live, experience of that, my favorite thing to do is perform and, share my energy and then have it come back to me. And my opening act is Julie Christensen. She actually was background singer for Leonard Cohen for years, and she's an amazing vocalist as well. So it's just one of those magical nights that's you're gonna hear about it if you miss it. You're gonna hear about it. And as far as the CD goes, same thing. I put it on. I feel better. I love it. It's a little bit of rock, a little bit of soul, a little bit of inspiration, and you can't have too much of that.
So there you have it, folks. What better reason could you need? Inspiration and feeling better.
That's right.
I'm glad I've got a copy of it because I know I've enjoyed it so far. And one more time, where are we Friday night?
Venue 109 in Madison, Tennessee. It's right off the Rivergate exit off of 65. Very cool venue, easy parking. They got food. They got, full bar, and it's just a wonderful, intimate vibe out there, away from the craziness of downtown. Love it.
Beautiful, beautiful area, and only minutes from the Guitar Center.
That's right.
So I mean, you can kill two birds with one stone. Literally minutes from the Guitar Center. Excellent, Sherrie. It's been a lot of fun getting to know you this morning, and I'm looking forward to spending this thing through the rest of the day here.
Awesome. Thank you, Brett. I really appreciate your time.
Friday. I want to try to make it.
Yeah, you should totally. Let me know if you're coming. I'll put you on the guest list.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. Very cool.
Great.
So again, Sherrie Phillips, SherriePhillipsMusic.com. She's all over YouTube, CD Baby, Facebook. We're going to have her here on Google Plus just as soon as we can. Kind of got her started this morning. And let me see if I can find anything else that I missed real quick. Let's see. Oh, don't forget Reverb Nation and Amazon and iTunes. Sherrie Phillips Music. Good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you joining us. I'm going to go ahead and close us out now. And again, this is Brett with Mid-10 Listens. Hope you've enjoyed what you've heard from Sherrie Phillips today, and we'll see you again very soon. Have a great day and keep rocking the Middle Tennessee music world.